and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, subscribe. If it's your second time, subscribe. So, my plan for today is to show you 4 core coding tips. So like directing tips that make everything a bit easier. So like what I think is the most important to know about directing, and I'm going to show you, obviously using the transfer because that's all I'm writing at the moment because I'm so zoned in. Let me show you. So the first core coding tip I'm going to give you is always transition. So the transition is at the start where it like fades in or like swirls in or whatever. I'll be doing a different video on the different types of transitions there are, but always transition in. Like I use transitions to almost all of my scenes, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. Okie dokie. So where you should put the transition is just, so ignore all this. I'm actually going to delete that because that's just my notes. So underneath where you have the background, you put at transition, and then there's lots of different types of transitions, but the standard one that I go for is fade. So it's transition, it's fade in if you want it to fade in, or fade out if you want it to fade out. So in is at the start and out is at the end. So transition, fade in, and then I want it to be in the color black. So I'll put black, and then it's the amount of time I want it to happen in. I always have it happen in too. So that is our transition. So if we look here now, it should just literally transition in black. Let's see if it works. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, there you go. You see it, the transition faded in rather than it just coming straight up and looking kind of weird. It transitioned in, and I do the same at the end. Because this is the last scene of the chapter, I put transition fade out black in 5 because I want it to be over 5 seconds instead of 2. But standard transition fade in black and fade out in black, and I do it in about 2 seconds. The next core coding tip I'm going to tell you is the at and symbols. So I do have some comments where people are like, what the hell are these 2 symbols about and why do you use them? So what I want to happen is I want Claudia to just be on the screen. So I'm just going to put Claudia stands screen center and you stands screen center as well. So because I've put the and symbol here instead of the at symbol, instead of it being the background loads and then Claudia is there and then you're there and then it transitions in, what will happen is Claudia and you will be there at the same time. It will transition in. So let me show you that now. See, so now it just happens smoothly together, whereas if these were all ats instead of ands, I'll show you how that would look. So this really is really important. It makes like a huge difference. It's one of the first errors that I made consistently when I first started writing, because I just didn't understand the point of them. Oh, well that went smoothly anyway, which ruins my point. But you get what I'm saying. Use and instead of at. The next tip I'm going to give you is always use zones. When I first started, I didn't use zones, and then it meant my characters were everywhere, my camera was everywhere. It was terrible. So basically what the zones are like the different phone size sections of an image, like screen size sections. So you can have 1 zone, 2 zones, or 3 zones, and they're called zone 1, 2, and 3. Okie dokie. So if we zoom out here, like this is what I mean by a phone size. Okay, so if we split this into, that's like 2 zones. I want the scene to start in zone 2, and then I want it to pan to zone 1. So I put cut to zone 2 at the top, and then pan to zone 1 in 3. So I'm using my zones here to make the camera move from one side to the other, because zones are so important. If I hadn't put a zone in, it usually just automatically goes to zone 1, but who knows where it could go, and you don't want to risk it. I'll show you how to put characters in zones. as well, just while we're talking about the zone bit. Okay, so when you want to put a character in a zone, you move them to wherever you want them to be by using the spot helper. Then you click copy, paste it, make sure you still got your and then literally just put in zone 1. So now she'll be in zone 1. Let's move Claudia as well. Okay, Claudia is moved. In zone 1. So now it should start in zone 2 and then pan to zone 1, and both our characters for the scene be in zone 1. Yay, it's working. Perfect. Thank you for watching, as always. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe so you can see my future videos. And thanks for watching.